everybody. How you doing? Quite a late one for me today, isn't it? Apologies, I was busy at work. Also, I'm pleased to see there's someone in here because I thought being a bit late, you might have all, gone and done something more interesting than listen to me talk shite on the internet. However, you guys are obviously not the coolest cats. Although no, it's not Friday, is it? It's only Thursday. School night, right? So fair enough. If it was a Friday night and it was chocker, I'd be like, come on, get yourselves out on piss or summit. But no, New Year's Eve's tomorrow, innit? Nearly got that wrong. So I'll take it back. You're not sad bastards after all. Although, do we really like New Year's Eve when you're past the age of about 30? It used to piss me off, when I was living in York. Whenever it was what I class as a fair weather drinkers night, like St. Patrick's Day, New Year's Eve, Boxing Day, you always got loads of wankers in the boozers. And it used to annoy me. I used to go to a boozer called the Phoenix, and it was quality in there. I knew the landlord and pally with all the barmaids. And you'd go in on, I specifically remember going in on New Year's Eve once, probably about 7 or 8 years ago. And it was just a fucking nightmare. You've got like middle-class arseholes in Christmas jumpers who never go in ever. And then this one day of the year, they're all in there going like, ooh, can I try a bit of that one? But maybe I'll try a little bit of that. And I'm like, for fuck's sake. And it's like, ooh, should we get a pickled egg? Ooh, do you do mulled wine? Fucking hell. And after like 10 minutes, I was like, here, I should have my own queue. If you come in here and get pissed on a random Tuesday in March, you should get like priority fucking booking on New Year's Eve. I don't see why I should have to stand behind a middle-class arsehole while he asks about the mulled wine. If the mulled wine's from France, fuck off, mate. This is why I like Wetherspoons, right? Middle-class arseholes talk shit about Wetherspoons. Wetherspoons mint. You can't beat Leatherspoons. The only downside about Leatherspoons is the ones in Middlesbrough, because if you go into Leatherspoons in Middlesbrough, you often get like, you'll be sat having a pint, and the next thing, there's some random fucking street urchin snuggling up to your kneecaps, and you're like, who is this fucking child? And then you look over, and there's obviously mum and dad are leathered, asleep in the corner at 8:30, and the little bastard rugrats are rummaging around the pub, just running amok, running about. So that's the only downside. But Wetherspoons everywhere else is fucking sound. I'm definitely into Wetherspoons. I'm a fanboy, not just because Tim is a Brexiteer either. Brexiteer aside, Leatherspoons is mint. So yeah, I'm partially with Leatherspoons. Right. Wine is fine, but whiskey's quicker. It is indeed. I've told Whiskey Straight Al that though. Like, I'm not a massive fan of whiskey. I drink anything with booze in it. But I'm obviously very verbose, and I like going to the pub to talk shit to people. And I just find I do more gabbing when I'm drinking pints, because it's like, it takes ages, doesn't it? And I have a chat, and then have a mouthful, and then have a chat, and then have a mouthful, and then you do that times 12 pints. And then you go home 9 hours later and you've had a good day. Whiskey, I just sort of go bam, bam, bam. And the next thing, I'm fucking obliterated. 265 a pint in Leatherspoons. Winning. Flanagan's in Liverpool has women randomly stripping. That sounds all right as well, I suppose. What about the Borough, Matt? Fab Kev, are you referring to the fact that the Wetherspoons closed in the Borough? One of them did. That's the Isaac Wilson's near the train station. But fortunately, the Swatter's car at the top end of Linthorpe Road still open. Tess likes whiskey as well, and she's on it as we speak. Well done. You know what? As well, I've got the Wetherspoons app on my phone, and it came up the other day and said now we've got Leffy on draft, and I love Leffy. That is good beer. That when I was in my like early 20s, maybe it was late teens. We were all a bit trendy. Leffy was our favourite one. We used to go to like this fancy boozer in Borough that used to sell Leffy and Hogarden on draft. And we used to always drink. And I remember my brother, because he's 4 years older than me, taking the piss out of me. And Fast forward 15 years, he's always drinking it now. So, yeah, what a wanker. Good drink, that, though. Join Camera and get £20 in spoons vouchers. Is that still a thing, Glenn? Because, seriously, me and my mate Bonesy joined Camera and got £20 in spoons vouchers like 20 fucking year ago. I remember doing it. In fact, I might not have even been in the car. I think I was about 17 or 18. And we got £20 in spoons vouchers. It was fucking hoofing. So I'll tell you what, if that's a thing, surely it should have gone up to £50. Because I'll tell you what, with inflation, 20 quid in spoons vouchers in 1998 was a fucking king's ransom. 20 quid in Wetherspoons back in the day, you could get pissed for like 3 days. In Middlesbrough, in the Isaac Wilsons in Middlesbrough, before I joined the course, so you're looking at like, what, 1998? It was 98 pence for a bottles of Holston Pills and Budweiser, I think it was. And it was 88 pence for big bottles of Broom. And oh my God, I've just realised I've turned into my granddad. Coming here to talk about news, and I've just been sat here talking about how much cheaper the booze was in the 90s. I'll tell you, fucking hell. I've turned into my granddad. I remember when you could get Newquay Broom for 88 pence and you could get a gobble off a toothless prostitute under Albert Bridge for £2.50. Then with the days, I don't even know how much it is for a chew now. I have no idea. No idea how much it is for a chew in Middlesbrough now. It used to be pennies. You could like give them a can of Diamond White. You were fucking laughing kitbags. They'd fight over your cock for a can of Diamond White. You'd be like, oh, Jesus. Like 4 or 5 hookers duking it out to see who could get your bell end in the mouth first. £1.20 for a packet. No, it was never that cheap. When I was a lad, buying tabs in school, when I was like 15 or 16, I think it was £1.18 or something for 10. It was like £1.18 for 10 Lambert and Scuttler. Lambert and Scuttler were the cheap ones, and Regal King Size were the posh ones. And Lambert and Scuttler, it was like £1.18, and Regal King Size, it was like £1.29 or something. So I think 20 was about £2.40. But yeah, a lot of you fuckers are older than me. I'm talking like what, mid to late 90s there. Anyway, let's stop doing let's stop doing Grandpa Bootneck who sits by the fire and do some news, shall we? Because there's a lot going on. The story of Ghislaine Maxwell's downfall isn't particularly interesting to me because I feel as if this entire thing, and this is going to put me on dangerous ground, but that's what Bootnecks do. Like, we love dangerous ground. I'm not that interested in it because I think, though, even though she obviously was an horrible cunt, large numbers of them weren't in any way mistreated. It's basically like Bill Cosby, right? And again, I'm sure I'm upsetting people already, but Bill Cosby, right? Some of the people that said he raped her, and I mean, this is where we are. This is where the Bootneck is the only man who will defend poor old Bill Cosby. Right? I'm not sticking up for Bill Cosby per se, but what I'm saying is, of the, like, let's say 100 women accused Bill Cosby of raping them, 100 birds accused Cosby of raping them, 95 of them didn't get raped. They did it for money. And I know that sounds pretty harsh, but seriously, me and my missus were sitting there reading. She said, give me a magazine, I don't know what it was, a couple of years ago, with like a Cosmopolitan world exclusive interviewing all the victims. And I swear down, one of them was like, loads of them were ridiculous. Almost all of them were ridiculous. And one of them was like, he raped me 11 times over a 4-year period. Every time I used to go and see him, he'd slip something in my drink and I'd have a couple of glasses of wine. And the next thing you know, I woke up and he was fucking fingering me dirt box or whatever it was that they were saying. And I was like, I'm sorry if this sounds callous, but that isn't and cannot be in the same ballpark as a woman who's walking down the street and a Marley jumps out with a fucking machete headbutts her, pulls her in an alley, cuts her clothes off, and then fucking donkeys one into her. I'm sorry if that sounds harsh. Obviously, it's not moral to spike a woman's drink, but the fact that he spiked the drink and then she went back again and again and again blows my fucking mind. I mean, if I thought, let's say, who didn't we know was gay back in the 80s? George Michael. There's a good one, right? We didn't always know George Michael was raving, did we? If I was like a plumber and I was just walking home from work one day and George Michael went, all right, mate, fancy coming round my house? I've got loads of bitches on. You'll love it. And I was like, oh, nice one, George, winner. And I go around George's house and we're having a good time, boogieing away to some sweet ass pop beats from the 80s. Yeah, like a bit of Human League. Yeah, we're having a good time. And then I'm like, yeah, necking on with all these hot birds. And I'm like, George Michael's fucking mint. And the next thing I know, my third glass of wine drops me like a knackered lift. And then when I wake up, George Michael's bouncing on my shit locker. I don't think I'd join George Michael for another night round his house, fit women or not. I think when I was leaving a snail trail behind me as I walked home, clutching some frozen peas between my buttocks, I don't think I'd be loving the fact that I'd just been and partied with a pop star. So when some woman tells me that she's the helpless victim of rape by getting raped 11 times in a 4-year period in Bill Cosby's penthouse, of which she's traveling there every single time of her own volition, I'm sorry, but that is nowhere near the level of full-blown Marley with a flick knife rape that I think you need to cross the bar. So I think 95% of Bill Cosby's abuse victims were just very, very, very well-paid hookers. And I know that's extremely harsh language, but the Bootneck uses harsh language. If it happens to you once, you go to the police and you get the police involved. If it happens to you twice, you've crossed the line. And the same goes for actresses who gobbled Harvey Weinstein off. You can say no. Most women of quality would say no. Harvey Weinstein probably propositioned hundreds of women who never got to enjoy a good acting career because instead of gobbling him off and getting a 6-movie deal, they just said, fuck off, you fat, horrible, slimy, greenback-looking cunt. And those poor women with integrity and honesty didn't get an acting career. So it's out of order. It's abusing your authority. It's all kinds of things. But it's not rape. Because you're saying to them, I'll make you rich and famous if you fucking hum the national anthem with me bars in your mouth. And apparently that's what's her name did, so I don't like her. Jennifer Lawrence. Yes, GMP. It's Jennifer Lawrence. Apparently Jennifer Lawrence took the fucking money. Hence the reason Harvey Weinstein always had a fucking smile on his face because some fit 20-year-old was fucking smoking his pole. It's not rape. You took the money. And Rose McGowan took the money. And she got the fucking 3-movie deal. And then they wait 20 years till the career's done. And then they go, oh, yeah, he raped me. No, he didn't. He didn't. If Harvey Weinstein offered me a fucking 6-movie deal and $11 million to blow him fucking off, I would definitely be considering it. If I was single, I'd be on it like fucking white on rice. But I think it might hurt my wife's feelings. Maybe it'd hurt her feelings if I didn't take the money. But yeah, if they never blew the whistle at the time. JP is my point. They never did. They took the money, had the acting career for over a decade, and now they turn around and go, oh, yeah, rape me. Did he though? So with regards to Ghislaine Maxwell, I got there eventually. I'm not interested. I think this is a scapegoat. They want a scapegoat because the guy that was really the perpetrator of all of this stuff was murdered, allegedly. I put that in for fucking Susan. Doesn't matter, does it? Frankly, I shouldn't have to worry about any legalese because Nobody sees my channel except people that are already subscribed to it, so fuck them. Who cares? They're already shadow banning me, so I don't need to worry about it. But this is just a scapegoat. The powers that be, the big movers and shakers behind the scenes, quite obviously, to anybody who has a hole in their arse, is well aware that fucking a bloke didn't top himself in a Supermax prison with malfunctioning cameras and guards asleep and fucking there's no fittings. Like I said, you couldn't hang yourself in a shitty police cell in Middlesbrough. It's impossible. There's no fittings. There's nothing to hang yourself off. To take all your stuff off you. It is fucking impossible to kill yourself in a Supermax suicide wing, cameras and guards all around you, checking in on you every 10 minutes. It's ridiculous. So we all know what happened. So they want a scapegoat. So all of this shit, I'm not interested in. And all of these women, I mean, some of them as well, they're dead, like, slippery with the language. And a lot of them, they don't say he raped them. It's stuff like, oh, he gave me $2,000 to give him a nude massage or something. And it's like, well, that's not the fucking end of the world, is it? Getting rogered with a big spiky dildo is fucking the end of the world. Giving someone a massage, fucking hell, I'd give him a massage. Like, see this, it doesn't say that she got raped or anything. It just says, Miss Farmer, now 42, testified she'd been lured when she was 16 to a New Mexico ranch, and he'd give her a nude massage. If he raped her, it'd say he'd give her a nude massage, and then he fucking donkeyed one into her, wouldn't it? And then he subjected her to a horrifying 3-hour ordeal, and he raped her 6 times. But it seems like everything they write about it is slippery language. Women in their early 20s, and Ghislaine's the horrible bastard, as opposed to the guy who was actually doing the molesting and the raping and the predatory behavior. So my opinion of this is basically it's a perfect storm of everything. It's they want a scapegoat. So who, of course, they want a foreigner. Better to have a foreigner, a dirty limey fuck than an American. Yeah, a red-blooded American. So you want a scapegoat, you get the missus, blame it all on her, a bit misogynistic. They always blame the woman. Some of them were saying, oh, yeah, she's worse than Epstein because she's a woman. She should know better. How the fuck is the woman who maybe helps possibly a little bit worse than the bloke who was actually doing the fucking raping? Think about that. So they wanted a scapegoat. They wanted a foreigner. They used slippery language. Loads of them were just taking the money. Most of them seem like they're in the 20s. It's like loads of it's going to be bollocks. So the short version is, yeah, she's probably quite immoral. And yeah, she probably deserves to get nicked for it. But do I care that much? No, she's no fucking Ian Huntley, is what my point would be. And we don't spend all bastard week talking about shitbags like Ian Huntley that are still breathing, do we? Nothing said. Because this is what the one was talking about, the scapegoat. Oh, Epstein didn't... Up under the fucking doormat that goes. Let's never talk about that again. The fact that you can just get... we have political prisoners in the United States, like fucking these lads, the 40 blokes who got arrested for the January riots, or Julian Assange, or people getting fucking murdered left, right, and Chelsea as soon as Clinton has a fucking bad word to say about him, or Seth Rich getting shot in the back 19 times and they didn't even take his fucking wallet. Don't talk about any of that. Let's just talk about Ghislaine Maxwell, the horrible bitch. Let's just focus on her, the nice, dirty, limey scapegoat. Let's talk about her every day for fucking 6 months. What a load of bollocks. So I don't give a fuck. I don't care about Ghislaine Maxwell. That's what I have to say about that. Does that make me a horrible, unfeeling bootneck? Well, fuck you. Fuck you. They made me this way. You weren't even there, man. Right? So fuck them. Let's see what else is interesting, because I don't care about most of these money-grubbing fucking liars, be they elite twats like Ghislaine or 9 out of 10 of the people that are apparently accusing her. Biden and Putin seek a diplomatic path. Oh, yeah, fucking hell. You're happy to have one now. He's in charge, aren't you? You weren't happy with diplomacy when Trump was fucking in the office. Then it was looking, let's have a war with every bastard, wasn't it? 15 films to look for in the Oscars race. Who cares? That's rigged as well, isn't it? All the Virginia Confederate monuments headed to the museum. Of course they are. Of course they are. I'll tell you what this made me think of. So I'll rant about this for a little bit. So, Confederate monuments taken down in Richmond will be moved to a Black History Museum. The imposing statue of Robert E. Lee was removed in September and is expected to be among the monuments being transferred. Memorials to leaders of the pro-slavery Confederate states in the southern US have been controversial. They always, again, be aware of the slippery language. That was merely one tiny aspect of the war. All they start every sentence with pro-slavery, pro-slavery, pro-slavery. People like Robert E. Lee were extremely complex characters, and in lots of ways, Robert E. Lee was a fucking moral man. He was also an extremely capable general, and everybody who studied the US Civil War, which I have done since I moved here because I'm now an American and it interests me, are well aware that it was complicated. Robert E. Lee had many great characteristics, and it was known that for the time he was a forward-thinking man, and he treated his enemies with a lot of respect. He wasn't some cold-blooded, mustache-twirling, baby-raping fucking slave tyrant. He just wasn't. And if you think he was, go and read Wikipedia. Yeah, again, Wikipedia's got a left-wing bias, if anything. Go and read it and just have a listen. He wasn't the tyrant he's being painted out to be. It's just bollocks. The way that the BBC frame it every time is pro-slavery, pro-slavery. That's all it was all about. And it wasn't. It was much more complicated than that. A community-led process will decide the fate of them. Oh, of course it'll be community-led. But the community does what they're fucking told. So it's a load of shit. And the reason I want to talk about this bollocks is because, A, the history of the war and the individuals depicted is much more complicated than the BBC want to talk about. And B, and this is the biggest point I want to make, why is it we keep talking about the January riots still to this day, when for several years the mainstream media, Silicon Valley, the powers that be, the civil servants, the deep state, whatever you want to call the rest of them, like I said, we are the fucking harangued minority, right? People who care about truth and liberalism. Basically, for several years, they set an example whereby it was totally fine to trash monuments. It was totally fine to desecrate statues. It was totally fine to go to government-owned buildings, set them on fire, beat people up, assault police officers, treat revered architecture, structures, works of art as if they were shit on your shoe. And for years, they promoted a general feeling amongst society that it was acceptable to destroy, to assault, to burn, to tear down, to attack the very fibre of a nation. And then, after the police and the authorities clearly didn't enforce the law in both the UK and the United States, like I said, the more things change, the more they stay the same. This has been transatlantic. It's been multinational. In many Western countries, if not all of them, we have a two-tier system because the woke now run the world. If you run Silicon Valley, you run the media, you run the airwaves, you run the radio waves, your ideology is king. Hollywood, NBA, Disney, BBC, Sky, Channel 4, MSNBC, the government, the fucking branches of government, the judges, the jurors, the civil servants, the fucking, you name it, they own it, right? So all across the Western world, we've had this narrative set that it's totally acceptable to smash and wreck and assault and burn and destroy. The general public get annoyed because they see we've got a two-tier legal system, and if you're a Black Lives Matter protester, you can assault police officers willy-nilly, and you can punch police women in the face, and you can throw bricks at them, at the police horses, and you can pull down statues and burn flags. And so finally, after many years of this, a group of Republican lads who see that there seems to be shenanigans going off with the election, they go to the White House and they have a bit of a riot. Let's call it that. I'm not going to sugar the pill and say they didn't do anything at all. Of course, you shouldn't be smashing public property because we fucking pay for it. So they had a bit of a riot and it caused a bit of damage. But why was it when your communist rabble was smashing government buildings, burning things down, wrecking Macy's, setting fire to McDonald's franchises, blowing up the fucking department stores, robbing and stealing and raping and murdering and pillaging, that was totally acceptable. It was, oh yeah, but they're really angry about it. They deserve to be angry. It's not looting, it's just reappropriation of wealth, man. And then these lads do one fucking incident that's more or less the same after you've been saying for years that there's government institutions bollocks, fuck the government, fuck the statues, fuck the flag, fuck the police. And then these guys have one day off and an unarmed woman gets shot in the face by the popo, and that's fucking good. And then 40-odd blokes are still in jail a year fucking later, and that's great. And most laughably, the most laughable of all, now we have to revere and respect the statues and the monuments. Are you pulling my pisser? How do you expect me to take this lying down? How do you expect me to sit here with and not be angry at all? When I've talked about this many times, the one thing people cannot stand is hypocrisy. There is some innate human fucking, I don't know what it is that clicks in your head when you feel like people are being hypocritical. But that does drive people wild with rage. That's why the left like doing it, because they want to make you deranged with rage. They love going on Twitter. Ash Sarkar's a good example of hypocrisy. I've seen her make videos on YouTube where she goes, do you know, in America, you are allowed to use racial slurs, but in Britain, you do not have the right to call me anything to do with my racial or sexual or anything else. It's illegal. And then 2 seconds later, she's like, gammons, pasty gammon, white fox, reeling off the racism with gusto because they want to make you angry. It's hypocrisy. Hypocrisy pushes some button in the human brain. It's worse than just basically lying. If someone lies to you, you just think, oh, well, at least they're just trying to pull one over on me. But if someone says to you, definitely don't do that, and then they go and do it, it does drive you wild because it's like, oh my God, this person feels like there's some sort of tyrannical king that can say you're not allowed to drink and you're not allowed to smoke, and then they're doing it. It seriously does make you flip out. It pushes some button in some, I don't know what it is. It might be our large adrenal glands or our poorly developed frontal cortex, whatever it is. But it pushes some button in your brain that makes you go, motherfuckers. It proper radges you. And this hypocrisy is what they seem to be doing it on purpose. I listened to an interview with David Starkey on Spike today, and he was saying he basically thought that a lot of this was just the revenge of the elites. Like, you know, we started talking about it the last stream I did, saying how it appears to have now gone beyond. It's gone beyond incompetence, and it's now malice. I think Dr. Starkey's right, and it's malice. I think a lot of this from the last couple of years has just been pure spite and vindictiveness from the political class, because the political class, the elites, the university educated elites all agree. They all agree on everything. They agree about Brexit. They agree about Trump. They agree about vaccines and masks. So this is revenge. It's, we know you won't like lockdown. We know you don't want to wear masks. We know you don't want to be forced to take a vaccine. So we're going to legally mandate it all. They're like the fucking evil villain off a TV program, aren't they? It's malevolence and spite now. I mean, remember that famous photo of them all getting pissed at the fucking watching the flyby? They just don't give a shit. They're happy to sit there going, drinking all the wine. I don't know if I can find that picture. Watching Flyby, maybe? Was it Red Arrows? I'll have to look. What about Boris and Trudeau, maybe? Yeah, there it is. Here we go. Found it. That one, you remember? This is everybody else is fucking locked up, tighter than a nun's knickers, and they're just fucking loving life. Look at him, fat, horrible, slimy shitbag. Him and Macron getting boozed. He's got a bottle in one hand and a pint in the other. The fucking fat, horrible shitbag. And they were famous. The fours that went viral. Look at that one. This is when everybody else is locked up like tighter than a clam. And they're just loving life, like, fuck them. Fuck, don't give a shit. You can't get any closer than that. If he was any closer to Justin Trudeau there, he'd be up his ass. Look at that. This is when everybody else is socially distanced and wearing the masks. It's a farce. So it is. I firmly believe now, David Startme's talked me round. It's out of spite. I've said this loads of times when I was talking to Chris Stroll and anybody else has asked me, no, you've got to put it down to stupidity and incompetence. No, it's malevolence. It's hatred. We keep voting the way they don't want us to vote. So they are sticking it up us. They know we don't like being told we can't go to the pub, and we don't like wearing masks. We don't like being kept away from our family and our friends, and we don't like being told you can't have your own fucking mates around, your own house. You can't have your hot boy in your own kitchen. So they do this, and it's like, Carrie, fucking absolute harpy. There she is, buzzing. She wanted to do out of spite. They're all loving life there, look. Get in. I mean, and how expensive is it to get that shit to go on? They just do it for their own benefit, don't they? I will spend a few million quid of the taxpayers' money, have a flyby while we all get pissed, and have a fucking cocktail party. Yeah. Cheers, lads. Fucking do one. So it is. It's just, they're just taking the piss out of us. Taking the piss out of us. How about Life on the Ocean Wave to finish? We can do that, I suppose, if the audio works. Let me have a look. I'll put it on because I do love Life on the Ocean Wave. Does the sound work? Got to have it by the Royal Marines Band, haven't you? Oh, here's a good one. 4K. Right, all right, you ready? Let's finish with some tunage. There you go. A Life on the Ocean Wave to finish with. Always a classic tune. Phil the Greek, he was sound, wasn't he? That was the good old days when we liked the royal family. Now they're just a bunch of massive choppers. There's literally only the Queen now I think I give a fuck about. Yeah, well, in 50 years I'll be dead, Dominic. Thank fuck for that. You can imagine them all on D-Day like they were sitting on the rafts there going, I hope my great-grandson's a communist. Yeah, cheers. Fucking cheers. It's a crazy time to be alive, isn't it? So yeah, I think that'll do us for the day. But seriously, it's gone tits up as much as it can. I think I'll do a year roundup for Sunday if I can be asked. Pick out the sort of 5 or 6 best stories from the last year. Some of them have just been shocking, haven't they? There was the revelations in Time magazine about basically them telling us that they rigged the election. It's like, if anyone's not aware of that, they basically wrote an article gloating about it. That was one of the best ones. We've had the Chinese getting all of the actors and the athletes to bend over and take it up the fucking dirt box. We've just had the piss out of us for 12 months. But at least we're still here and we're having a chuckle about it because that is the very definition of stoicism. Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong. And we're still here laughing about it. That's what the working class do. And when the fucking flames go out on our civilization, those of us that are still here will be cackling among the ruins because fuck them. Fuck them. That's my attitude to all of this chaos. keep laughing about it. All you can do is laugh about it. It's funny. And when it all kicks off, it'll be down to us to fix everything. I don't think the fire will ever go out completely, because I think once it gets bad enough, you'll just have wide-scale chaos, murder, war, public disorder. And at that point, we fix it. But until then, you just have to cackle amongst the fucking flames, don't you? Simon Sideways, the Reverend's in. How are you doing? I do like you, Simon. I've watched a few of your videos after Paz recommended you. I've heard you're also being fingered by Susan. So, yeah, join the club. She's got very large digits, Susan. She's got fucking fingers like sausage rolls, the bitch. All right, everyone, thanks for watching and like and sharing all that bollocks. And I will see you, not tomorrow, because I'm working tomorrow. Sunday, hopefully. I'll try and do something for the weekend. We'll see. I don't know when I'm on. I'll let you know on Twitter. I'll have to figure out my calendar. But yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe to Rotten Politics and Simon and anybody else who's sensible and logical and says things that normal people can see 10 miles away, but elites couldn't see. Well, they walk around with a fucking sack on their head, don't they? We all know that. So, right. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you all very soon. Good night. And if I don't see you beforehand, have a great New Year's Eve. Get pissed and get ready to laugh at the fucking lunacy of 2022. All right? See you later.